Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching us today. My name is Rich Tehrani. We're coming to you from Interop, New York, 2010. On our program is Rick Kane, and he's a regional sales manager for VSS Monitoring. Rick, hi.
How you doing, Rich? Good.
Great. So tell us about VSS Monitoring.
So VSS Monitoring is all about distributed traffic capture, creating a strategic layer between your communications infrastructure and the monitoring tools, the diverse monitoring tools that you might use throughout the enterprise. That strategic layer is really supporting the evolution from network monitoring 1.0 to network monitoring 2.0. And basically, we capture the packet once and make it available, or as many copies as available, to all the tools that you might have in the enterprise. Then we can perform intelligent operations on it. So we can filter on it through layers 2 through 7, selectively aggregate across all of the segments in your network, load balance, and more importantly, session-aware load balance. So all the traffic associated with a given session goes to the same analytical device, and that supports their ability to do the correlation. So using an old analogy like the BASF commercials, we don't make the analytical tools, and we don't make the communications infrastructure, but we make them both a lot better.
Now, network monitoring 2.0, how does that differ from 1.0? I mean, what are some of the differences?
So from the differences, in the past there's been a proliferation of the actual analytical tools at every point in your network. So whether you're taking some inline feeds, but predominantly span feeds or mirror port feeds off your network switch, you have to have that probe at every one of those locations, or that analytical tool. As you start to look through that, two things happen. Either you have an enormous cost associated with doing that, or the cost becomes prohibitive and you don't do it.
Right.
So you don't get the visibility into your network.
Right.
Creating Monitor 2.0 kind of concept is basically that strategic layer between those two, the communications infrastructure and the tools. The tools now become virtually centralized, and you start to get economies of scale. So instead of the tool on this side being 5% busy and on the other segment of the network being maybe oversubscribed, with VSS's session-aware load balancing, you can now achieve a 50-50 split, or if you need to proliferate those because of the volume of traffic as such, you start to spread that traffic, and again, all the session associated with a given all the traffic associated with a given session will go to the same tool, so it can correlate the data.
So what other trends are you seeing in the market?
Trends in the market is that the customers are starting to look at, so they avoid inline, they always avoided inline tapping for two reasons. One, they didn't want to create latency, and they didn't want to create another single point of failure.
Right.
So with this layered approach of a fiber optic, passive fiber optic tap, you have a fail-safe solution. It's not powered, it's just splitting light, and then you feed that to a second level intelligent device that does all the intelligence and makes all of those tools much better. We're starting to see an acceptance of that. So you're not putting in a device that will create a failure because it's passive.
Right.
And you're not increasing any latency because you're talking about a length of fiber about yay long. So we're seeing a lot of acceptance of that. We're also seeing the fact that the tools, the proliferation of those tools is hard to manage. And getting them centralized is a very, very popular viewpoint now in the marketplace. So we are seeing that.
What's next for the company?
Well, aside from the point of view of just the intelligent distributed taps, we've created a new product called the Protector Series, which is now available in the marketplace. It's now dealing with active elements in the network, like IPSs or riverbed steelhead devices. Items, analytical tools that need to be active. And now this is a bypass switch that performs the bypass function as well as the traditional tapping function.
Right.
All combined into a single device. Unique in the marketplace.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being on the program, and hope to see you back soon.
Great. Thanks for having us, Rich. Yep.